Trump securing a peace deal in Gaza, which is very exciting, but there's no Nobel Prize. Drew, can you imagine? Can you imagine?
The pen is still wet.
They're not going for it. They're not going for it. 8 wars is not enough, Drew. We need 9. The funny thing is watching everybody say, well, if he can finally do Russia, then we'll give it to him. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm going to be holding my breath until the hostages are actually returned. Mm-hmm. His personality make the prediction that he would be able to negotiate this kind of thing well, because he isn't afraid to go, if you don't do it, he really will tariff the life out of you. Mm-hmm. He will drop bombs on you if he has to.
This is what he said after the deal was made.
The whole group was just amazing, and the military was...
Bless him for spreading the love around.
In fairness. Done. We have a great military with great leadership. The world has come together around this deal.
And then later on, he talked about how he thinks the catalyst of did it was the tariffs, because it opened up international conversations.
People need to think up from first principles of how the human mind works. And the reality is you have to find your point of leverage. But one of the most important things you learn as an entrepreneur is sometimes you have leverage and sometimes you don't. And whenever you go into a negotiation, you can't be thinking, but I'm right. I'm the moral one in this discussion. It doesn't matter. You have to come in and say, where's my point of leverage? One thing that we did at Quest was we looked for people that had space and they couldn't afford that space anymore. And we said, look, we'll come in. We don't care about having our name on the door. We need the space. We need things that are health department approved, all that. And then it was these wonderful symbiotic relationships where we stopped them from losing their lease. So find your point of leverage and play that point of leverage. And so he comes in, looks at the way that America is just sort of giving things to every country in the world. Hold on a second. We've got no leverage just because we've been giving things away. I'm going to put these tariffs in place. They're dangerous, and I don't want to pretend that they're not, but that they are effective for certain things. You've got a deal in Gaza, finally. Trump telling you part of what I used as leverage were the tariffs. And so the point of leverage is that America is the first or second largest economy in the world. And so everybody wants to sell here. Oh, you want to sell here? Well, it'd be a real shame if something happened to your tariffs. It is a strong arm tactic, but it also gives you leverage. Whatever you're trying to pull off in your life, what is your leverage? Be honest about what your leverage is. And so often I see people go into a negotiation and they just think, but I'm right. And they think that being right is going to win the day, and it's not. You've got to find your leverage. You got to play it.
Let's jump into the statement.
With what we've done in the United States, having the ability to use tariffs to help me make a point, the tariffs have brought peace to the world. I'm telling you, they brought peace to the world.
Tomorrow I will convene the government to approve the agreement and bring all our dear, I'm going to move these captions, all our bring hostages home. So the deal was officially signed yesterday night. I know some people seen the reports that Israel fired on Gaza. So they literally attacked them in the morning, signed ceasefire deal in the afternoon or in like nighttime. But that starts the 72-hour window. So they're expecting the hostages to be released by Monday, Tuesday. Netanyahu continues, I thank from the bottom of my heart President Trump and his team for their dedication for the sacred mission of freeing our hostages.
Trump is saying that everybody is coming back on Monday. He said that very explicitly. There's a wonderful British phrase that is perfect here, which is many a slip between cup and lip. Meaning as you lift to take the drink, there's still many opportunities to spill on yourself. So there's plenty of opportunity for this to still go wrong, but I am certainly optimistic as of right now.
The first step of the ceasefire is there will be no firing. You have 72 hours to bring the hostages home. Once they have the hostages, Israel will then move to the first boundary line, giving more real estate, I guess, to Gaza. Then there's another set of standards. They'll move to a second line. Then there's a final phase, and that's when Israel will give, I guess, Palestinians will then take over the complete control of Gaza, and they'll go outside that boundary.
The reason that people are optimistic that this is actually going to hold is that there's so much Arab and Muslim support for the deal, and that by getting even Qatar on board, it's left Hamas with nowhere to turn. So they don't have any allies anymore. Basically, Trump went to Hamas and said, listen, here's how this is going to play out. You guys are either going to agree to this deal or I am going to completely unleash Netanyahu and let him do what he wants to do. I'm going to sell him all the weapons in the known universe, and good luck. And because Trump has backed up his threats historically, people are like, okay, maybe there really is no better play for us right now. They're going to be releasing hundreds, from what I understand, hundreds of people that were serving life sentences. So this is exactly the kind of deal that they brokered to get Sinwar back. Sinwar was the architect of October 7th. So I'm sure it's not like they're like, oh my God, it's all over for us. They're thinking, all right, cool. We've played this as far as we can play it now. We don't have anybody left that's going to help us keep pushing this forward. So now our best play at this point, take the deal, regroup, find a way back in, and get all those people back out of prison and just start rebuilding. I know better than to believe that they're fatigued by the fighting, but I can always, fingers crossed, that they're also just like, okay, now's the time to regroup.
And devastation, 75% of Gaza is rubble now. So it's like at some point you got to kind of call a spade, fold your hand, get another shuffle.
Hamas was clearly winning the PR battle. The world is turning against Israel in a major way. Obviously, even Charlie Kirk was like, his final tweet saying like, I'm backing out of the pro-Israel camp. From Hamas's perspective, there must have been a tremendous amount of pressure on them. They must have felt completely isolated for them to agree to back out, because they really were making an incredible amount of progress in terms of isolating Israel. Stopping now is probably more protective of Israel than it is of Hamas, for sure.
But the calls for the Nobel Peace Prize are back. They started after Trump ended the Pakistan-India weekend war. The Prime Minister of Israel tweeted, give Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. He deserves it. And Fox News talked to a former U.S. ambassador to Israel, and he echoes that sentiment.
Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump. He has certainly nominated him for that. Do you think that the Nobel Committee would award the prize to President Trump?
I think he deserves far better. I've been impressed with the
I love how good his
candidates in the past who have won this award. President Obama won it. I didn't think he deserved it. Yasser Arafat, for God's sake, got a Nobel Prize 20-something years ago. So not
Yasser
impressed with
Arafat,
with the award, or if the president wants it.
Also, I just think it's, I don't want to say hilarious because it's not funny, but Tel Aviv, Israel, hostage square. It's like if you have a hostage square in your city.
That's what it's called? Wow.
Like that.
I have a feeling they must have been doing events and stuff since people were taken for that. But yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, what say you? Do you think he deserves that Nobel Prize?
Obviously.
Yeah, if it sticks, that's it. Give it to him.
Do you want the prize to matter or not? If my beloved wife is in the feed today or not, but she wrote a book. It was a Amazon bestseller in multiple categories, literally #1 bestseller. She outsold multiple books on the New York Times the exact same week, but she didn't make the list. And so what I kept telling her was, the New York Times, I get it. They still have brand name recognition, but because the award does not go to people based on sales, I'm like, why do you care? Yeah. So I was like, Amazon is about sales. So the fact that you topped multiple charts on Amazon, I was like, that's like a legitimate list to me. Yeah. Whereas the New York Times is like a popularity contest of just the editors at the New York Times. There is name brand recognition to the Nobel Peace Prize, so I get why he would want it. But this whole thing just makes me go, whatever. That is meaningless.